This is Robert Hoesch, November 1st. Starting in the front here, we did a lot of cutting back for fall today. So all of these plants up along the side of the house here, we cut back the most of the dried blooms and kind of shaped them up a bit to get things looking a bit cleaner. And then typical rose maintenance, just deadheading and pruning and stuff. We didn't get to the grasses today. That's something we could do next time. And then the morning glory in this bed, it's looking pretty good this time, luckily, so we didn't have much to do with that. With this ground cover on the side here, we just did some basic deadheading. And then there's a bunch of plants along this side here, and then also up here that were dried up, so we cut those back to the new growth. And up along the waterfall here, just more rose maintenance. And then there were a bunch of irises back here. We tried to grab as many as we could, deadheading them or cutting them back for the fall, but there's still some that are pretty far up there that we couldn't grab. And then along here, we just cut back this stuff a bit, and then these daisies. We did this whole bed of the morning glory that we didn't get to last time. And then for this side bed, there were a lot of irises, you can see here, and then a whole lily along this this cactus, I don't know what it's called, that we cut to the ground and then pulled these back for the fall all the way along the side here. There were a whole bunch of them, and here too. So those are all set for the fall. These I feel like we'll need to cut back next time since they're looking a bit crispy on the edges. So those next time, and then the grasses next time would be good. And this one probably as well. And then all of the, I think it's Russian sage along the driveway was looking extra crispy, so we gave it a nice haircut. Those 3 bushes along the side there. Oh, and there were also some primroses on that rock wall, and then also one right here that we cut to the ground since they were completely finished for the year too. And moving along to the back, there wasn't much growing in this pathway here. I feel like we might want to grab some of the little grasses and stuff that are growing here, but there's so much dog poop that it's kind of tricky. Next time we could probably cut back this stuff to its new growth, but we did grab this Russian sage as well, since it looked even worse than the ones up front. And for the most part, everything else back here is looking pretty good. For the driveway, there was also some cutting back that we did near the bottom, and we shaped these red bushes right here just so they were flat on the top because there were some things sticking out kind of weirdly. So there were a few lilies along the side here, but most of this was cutting back irises. So there were a whole bunch along here, in between this, I think it's rabbit bush. So all along there. And then we did some work on this rose bush just a little bit, but a bunch of irises here, and then they go all the way back in there. So we got those all cleaned up for the fall. Those, and then a whole bunch of, I think these were daisies that were dried up that we cut to the ground, or to their new growth, sorry, alongside the irises that are growing in them. So we did those. Some more of the daisies here. And then there were some anemones growing here too that we just cut the stalks off of because the leaves were already dried up. Next time, I don't know if we'll want to grab this, cut it back to the new growth. We'll have to see how crispy it looks next time. But for the most part, next time should just be a little bit left of the lavender and the Russian sage up there and the grasses.